Let's go to the Chief Investment Officer at the Motley Fool, Scott Phillips. Yeah, I found this to be a tough sell. I remember talking to Richard Miles, I think, at the time. How do you tax an unrealised gain? I think that's totally unfair. Am I wrong, Scott?
No, you're not wrong at all, Pete. This was always a reckless, silly, okay, I'll call it stupid, policy. I have a suspicion, mate, honestly, that this was a backdoor way of trying to reduce super balances or get people to withdraw their super to keep the balance below that number, to make it so incredibly difficult, inefficient, challenging, whatever you want to call it, to keep more than $3 million in super, that people would simply take it out so they can avoid it. And if that capped super and therefore capped the deductions, I could kind of understand the logic. The problem is it's a ridiculous way to do it. If you want to cap super, just cap super and be done with it, right? I wouldn't agree with that, by the way. We can at least have that conversation. Taxing unrealised gains, think about a property. Think about $1 million investment property. It goes up 10% in a given year. The government says, well, okay, that's a $100,000 profit. You owe us a third of that, 30%, so, 30 grand, pay up. And you say, well, hang on, what am I going to do? Sell the letterbox, sell the front lawn? Am I going to sell a room? You can't do it, right? And so what it actually means is people are forced to liquidate their holdings just to pay the tax. There's no need for it. That's the other thing, right?
Yeah, and what if that doesn't happen too? What if that doesn't even eventuate? I mean, that's just like pie in the sky stuff.
Correct. And then the reverse happens, right? Apparently the policy was going to, or maybe still is, if the house would fall, you'd either get a refund or a tax credit you could use on a future gain. You'd have all these paper transactions. The tax system is complex enough. If you want to tax over $3 million, if that's your benchmark, then fine. But do it on realised gains. Do it. And that's the thing. The gains will be realised at some point. So what we're really talking about is the timing here, not the size of the revenue for government, in which case it's even less necessary. It's not like it's not going to be taxed if it's not taxed on unrealised gains. It gets taxed when it's sold, when the super fund is wound up, when the kids inherit it, whatever that is, at a point when the asset is disposed of, then the revenue comes in. So a whole lot of rigmarole for absolutely no benefit. By the way, the thing that's I haven't yet seen talked about, that $3 million is not planned to be indexed. And I don't know whether Senators Pocock and Lambie have expressed a view on that. Look, the unrealised gains is far, far worse than not indexing the bracket, but that will be an issue very, very quickly because asset prices continue to rise around the world.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's going to involve a smaller amount of people because, there's not that many people really who are going to have more than $3 million in super. But still, if it's not indexed, then it's just going to scoop up more people, right, as more time goes on.
I mean, eventually gets there. I mean, the pension phase account has gone from 1.6 to 1.7. I think it's $1.9 million now. Think about the gains in the market, right? A $1.5 million super balance today in 7 or 8 years' time at an average share market gain of about 9% a year is $3 million. So fast forward 15, 20 years, $3 million will be a pretty modest median kind of superannuation balance. Not everyone will have one, but as you say, it'll scoop up more and more and more people because compounding does that. If kids that are going into the workforce today at 18, they'll retire at 67 over that 50-year period with inflation, asset prices, wages, all that kind of stuff. $3 million will become very, very common very quickly.
Yep. Okay, let's stay with the AFRs. A couple of good stories on its front page today, including this company news, Scott, that Myer is launching a takeover bid for JJ's and Just Jeans.
Just Jeans, we've got Dottie, we've got Jackie E. Basically, and the thing about this one is the prices went up of both Myer and Premier Investments that owns these businesses. Generally speaking, when you see a takeover, one goes up, one goes down, and the answer is basically coming down to what investors think, who's getting the better deal. This time around, one of those situations, the old joke about one group of people goes somewhere else, they raise the IQ of both places. Part of the case with Just Jeans and JJ's, right? It's not the best part of Premier's business, but it's better than the existing Myer business. So Premier get the money.
So is this good work from Olivia Wirth, the new boss?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it makes a whole lot of sense. If it goes ahead, it makes a whole lot of sense because it diversifies the Myer business meaningfully. Myer's current business is not great. Just Jeans, JJ's make it better than it is. So that's a win for Myer. And I said, Premier get the cash. So it's a win on both counts.
There you go. All right, Scott Phillips, good to see you. We'll chat to you soon.